technical excellence. Title: Selected Poems of Sylvia Plath. Author: Sylvia Plath. Sylvia Plath, chosen by Ted Hughes. Contents: title page, publisher's note, Miss Drake proceeds to supper, spinster, maudlin, resolve, night shift, full fathom 5, suicide off Egg Rock, the hermit at outermost house, medallion, the manor garden, the stones, from Poem for a Birthday, the burnt-out spa, your, facelift, morning song, tulips, insomniac, wuthering heights, finistere, the moon and the yew tree, mirror, the babysitters, little fugue, an appearance, crossing the water, among the narcissi, elm, poppies in July, a birthday present, the bee meeting, daddy, Lesbos, cut, by candlelight, Ariel, poppies in October, Nick and the candlestick, letter in November, Death Co., Mary's song, winter trees, sheep in fog, the Munich mannequins, words, edge, about the author, about the editor, by the same author, copyright. Publisher's note: the poems in this selection, like those in Sylvia Plath's collected poems, are arranged in chronological order of composition rather than of publication. For all of the poems apart from Miss Drake Proceeds to Supper, 1956, and Resolve, 1956, which have been published only in collected poems, dates of composition and the collections in which they originally appeared are given below. The Colossus, London, 1960, New York, 1962. Spinster, 1956. Maudlin, 1956. Night Shift, 1957. Full Fathom 5, 1958. Suicide off Egg Rock, 1959. The Hermit at Outermost House, 1959. Medallion, 1959. The Manor Garden, 1959. The Stones, 1959. The Burnt-Out Spa, 1959. Ariel, London and New York, 1965. Your, 1960. Morning Song, 1961. Tulips, 1961. The Moon and the Yew Tree, 1961. Little Fugue, 1962. Elm, 1962. Poppies in July, 1962. A Birthday Present, 1962. The Bee Meeting, 1962. Daddy, 1962. Cut, 1962. Ariel, Poppies in October, 1962. Nick and the Candlestick, 1962. Letter in November, 1962. Death Co., 1962. Sheep in Fog, 1963. The Munich Mannequins, 1963. Words, Edge, 1963. Crossing the Water, London and New York, 1971. Facelift, 1961. Insomniac, 1961. Wuthering Heights, 1961. Finistere, 1961. Mirror, 1961. The Babysitters, 1961. An Appearance, 1962. Crossing the Water, 1962. Among the Narcissi, 1962. Winter Trees, London, 1971. New York, 1972. Lesbos, 1962. By Candlelight, 1962. Mary's Song, 1962. Winter Trees, 1962. Selected Poems. Miss Drake Proceeds to Supper. No Novice. In those elaborate rituals which allay the malice of knotted table and crooked chair, the new woman in the ward wears purple, steps carefully among her secret combinations of eggshells and breakable hummingbirds, footing sallow as a mouse between the cabbage roses which are slowly opening their furred petals to devour and drag her down into the carpet's design. With bird-quick eye cocked askew, she can see in the nick of time how perilous needles grain the floorboards, and outwit their brambled plan. Now through her ambushed air, adazzle with bright shards of broken glass, she edges with wary breath, fending off jag and tooth, until, turning sideways, she lifts one webbed foot after the other into the still, sultry weather of the patient's dining room. Spinster. Now this particular girl, during a ceremonious April walk with her latest suitor, found herself, of a sudden, intolerably struck by the birds' irregular babble, and the leaves' litter. By this tumult afflicted, she observed her lover's gestures unbalance the air, his gait stray uneven through a rank wilderness of fern and flower. She judged petals in disarray, the whole season sloven. How she longed for winter then! Scrupulously austere in its order of white and black, ice and rock, each sentiment within border, and heart's frosty discipline exact as a snowflake. But here, a burgeoning, unruly enough to pitch her 5 queenly wits into vulgar motley, a treason not to be borne. Let idiots reel giddy in Bedlam spring. She withdrew neatly, and round her house she set such a barricade of barb and check against mutinous weather as no mere insurgent man could hope to break with curse, fist, threat, or love either. Maudlin. Mud-mattressed under the sign of the hag, in a clench of blood, the sleep-talking virgin gibbets with her curse the moon's man, faggot-bearing Jack. In his crackless egg, hatched with a claret hogshead to swig, he kings it, navel-knit to no groan. But at the price of a pin-stitched skin, fish-tailed girls purchase each white leg. Resolve. Day of mist, day of tarnish, with hands unserviceable. I wait for the milk van. The one-eared cat laps its gray paw, and the coal fire burns outside. The little hedge leaves are become quite yellow. A milk film blurs the empty bottles on the windowsill. No glory descends. 2 water drops poise on the arched green stem of my neighbor's rosebush. O bent bow of thorns! The cat unsheaths its claws. The world turns today. Today I will not disenchant my 12 black-gowned examiners, or bunch my fist in the wind's sneer. Night shift. It was not a heart beating, that muted boom, that clangor, far off, not blood in the ears drumming up any fever to impose on the evening. The noise came from outside, a metal detonating. Native, evidently, to these stilled suburbs. Nobody startled at it, though the sound shook the ground with its pounding. It took root at my coming, till the thudding source exposed confounded inept guesswork. Framed in windows of main streets, silver factory, immense. Hammers hoisted, wheels turning. Stalled, let fall their vertical tonnage of metal and wood. Stunned the marrow. Men in white undershirts circled, tending without stop those greased machines, tending without stop the blunt, indefeasible fact. Full fathom 5. Old man, you surface seldom. Then you come in with the tides coming, when seas wash cold, foam-capped. White hair, white beard, far flung. A dragnet, rising, falling, as waves crest and trough. Miles long extend the radial sheaves of your spread hair, in which wrinkling skeins, knotted, caught, survives the old myth of origins, unimaginable. You float near as keeled ice mountains of the north, to be steered clear of, not fathomed. All obscurity starts with a danger. Your dangers are many. I cannot look much, but your form suffers some strange injury, and seems to die, so vapors ravel to clearness on the dawn sea. The muddy rumors of your burial move me. Your reappearance proves rumor shallow, for the archaic trenched lines of your grained face shed time in runnels. Ages beat like rains on the unbeaten channels of the ocean. Such sage humor and durance are whirlpools to make away with the groundwork of the earth and the sky's ridgepole. Waist down, you may wind one labyrinthine tangle to root deep among knuckles, shin bones, skulls. Inscrutable. Below shoulders, not once seen by any man who kept his head, you defy questions. You defy other godhood. I walk dry on your kingdom's border, exiled to no good. Your shelled bed I remember. Father, this thick air is murderous. I would breathe water. Suicide off Egg Rock. Behind him the hot dogs split and drizzled on the public grills, and the ochreous salt flats, gas tanks, factory stacks, that landscape of imperfections his bowels were part of, rippled and pulsed in the glassy updraft. Sun struck the water like a den. Technical excellence. He heard, when he walked into the water, the forgetful surf creaming on those ledges, the hermit at outermost house, sky and sea, horizon hinged. Tablets of blank blue couldn't, clapped shut, flatten this man out. The great gods, Stonehead, Clawfoot, winded by much rock bumping and claw threat, realized that. For what then had they endured dourly the long hots and colds, those old despots, if he sat laugh-shaken on his door-sill, backbone unbendable as timbers of his upright hut? Hard gods were there, nothing else. Still he thumbed out something else. Thumbed no stony, horny pot, but a certain meaning green. He withstood them, that hermit. Rock-face, crab-claw verged on green. Gulls mulled in the greenest light. Medallion by the gate, with star and moon, worked into the peeled orange wood. The bronze snake lay in the sun, inert as a shoelace, dead but pliable still, his jaw unhinged and his grin crooked, tongue a rose-colored arrow. Over my hand I hung him. His little vermilion eye ignited with a glassed flame as I turned him in the light. When I split a rock one time, the garnet bits burned like that. Dust dulled his back to ochre, the way sun ruins a trout. Yet his belly kept its fire, going under the chainmail. The old jewels smoldering there in each opaque belly scale. Sunset looked at through milk glass. And I saw white maggots coil, thin as pins in the dark bruise, where his innards bulged as if he were digesting a mouse. Knife-like, he was chaste enough, pure death's metal. The yardmen's flung brick perfected his laugh. The manor garden, the fountains are dry, and the roses over. Incense of death, your day approaches. The pears fatten like little Buddhas. A blue mist is dragging the lake. You move through the era of fishes, the smug centuries of the pig head. Head, toe, and finger come clear of the shadow. History nourishes these broken flutings, these crowns of acanthus, and the crow settles her garments. You inherit white heather, a bee's wing, 2 suicides, the family wolves, hours of blankness. Some hard stars already yellow the heavens. The spider on its own string crosses the lake. The worms quit their usual habitations. The small birds converge with their gifts to a difficult borning. The stones. This is the city where men are mended. I lie on a great anvil. The flat blue sky circle flew off like the hat of a doll when I fell out of the light. I entered the stomach of indifference, the wordless cupboard. The mother of pestles diminished me. I became a still pebble. The stones of the belly were peaceable, the headstone quiet, jostled by nothing. Only the mouth hole piped out, importunate cricket in a quarry of silences. The people of the city heard it. They hunted the stones, taciturn and separate, the mouth hole crying their locations. Drunk as a fetus, I suck at the paps of darkness. The food tubes embrace me. Sponges kiss my lichens away. The jewel master drives his chisel to pry open one stone eye. This is the after hell. I see the light. A wind unstoppers the chamber of the ear, old worrier. Water mollifies the flint lip, and daylight lays its sameness on the wall. The grafters are cheerful, heating the pincers, hoisting the delicate hammers. A current agitates the wires, volt upon volt. Catgut stitches my fissures. A workman walks by carrying a pink torso. The storerooms are full of hearts. This is the city of spare parts. My swaddled legs and arms smell sweet as rubber. Here they can doctor heads or any limb. On Fridays, the little children come to trade their hooks for hands. Dead men leave eyes for others. Love is the uniform of my bald nurse. Love is the bone and sinew of my curse. The vase, reconstructed, houses the elusive rose. 10 fingers shape a bowl for shadows. My mendings itch. There is nothing to do. I shall be good as new. The burnt-out spa. An old beast ended in this place. A monster of wood and rusty teeth. Fire smelted his eyes to lumps of pale blue vitreous stuff, opaque as resin drops oozed from pine bark. The rafters and struts of his body wear their char of caracol still. I can't tell how long his carcass has foundered under the rubbish of summers, the black-leaved falls. Now little weeds insinuate soft swayed tongues between his bones. His armor plate, his toppled stones, are an esplanade for crickets. I pick and pry like a doctor or archaeologist among iron entrails, enamel bowls, the coils and pipes that made him run. The small dell eats what ate it once, and yet the itcher of the spring proceeds clear as it ever did, from the broken throat, the marshy lip. It flows off below the green and white balustrade of a sag-backed bridge. Leaning over, I encounter one blue and improbable person, framed in a basket-work of cattails. Oh, she is gracious and austere, seated beneath the toneless water. It is not I, it is not I. No animal spoils on her green doorstep. And we shall never enter there, where the durable ones keep house. The stream that hustles us neither nourishes nor heals. You're clown-like, happiest on your hands, feet to the stars and moon-sculled, gilled like a fish. A common sense thumbs down on the dodo's mode. Wrapped up in yourself like a spool, trawling your dark as owls do. Mute as a turnip from the 4th of July to All Fool's Day, O high riser, my little loaf. Vague as fog and looked for like mail. Farther off than Australia. Bent-backed Atlas, our traveled prawn. Snug as a bud at home like a sprat in a pickle jug. A creel of eels, all ripples. Jumpy like a Mexican bean. Right like a well-done sum. A clean slate with your own face on. Facelift. You bring me good news from the clinic, whipping off your silk scarf, exhibiting the tight white mummy cloths. Smiling, I'm all right. When I was 9, a lime green anesthesia fed me banana gas through a frog mask. The nauseous vault boomed with bad dreams and the Jovian voices of surgeons. Then Mother swam up, holding a tin basin. Oh, I was sick. They've changed all that. Traveling nude as Cleopatra in my well-boiled hospital shift. Fizzy with sedatives and unusually humorous. I roll to an anteroom where a kind man fists my fingers for me. He makes me feel something precious is leaking from the finger vents. At the count of 2, darkness wipes me out like chalk on a blackboard. I don't know a thing. For 5 days I lie in secret, tapped like a cask, the years draining into my pillow. Even my best friend thinks I'm in the country. Skin doesn't have roots. It peels away easy as paper. When I grin, the stitches tighten. I grow backward. I'm 20, broody, and in long skirts on my first husband's sofa. My fingers buried in the lamb's wool of the dead poodle. I hadn't a cat yet. Now she's done for. The dew-lapped lady I watched settle line by line in my mirror. Old sock face sagged on the darning egg. They've trapped her in some laboratory jar. Let her die there or wither incessantly for the next 50 years, nodding and rocking and fingering her thin hair. Mother to myself, I wake swaddled in gauze, pink and smooth as a baby. Morning song. Love set you going like a fat gold watch. The midwife slapped your foot soles, and your bald cry took its place among the elements. Our voices echo, magnifying your arrival. New statue. In a drafty museum, your nakedness shadows our safety. We stand round blankly as walls. I'm no more your mother than the cloud that distills a mirror to reflect its own slow effacement at the wind's hand. All night your moth breath flickers among the flat pink roses. I wake to listen. A far sea moves in my ear. One cry and I stumble from bed, cow-heavy and floral, in my Victorian nightgown. Your mouth opens clean as a cat's. The window square whitens and swallows its dull stars. And now you try your handful of notes. The clear vowels rise like balloons. Tulips. The tulips are too excitable. It is winter here. Look how white everything is. How technical excellence. I am nobody. I have nothing to do with explosions. I have given my name and my day clothes up to the nurses, and my history to the anesthetist, and my body to surgeons. They have propped my head between the pillow and the sheet cuff, like an eye between two white lids that will not shut. Stupid pupil, it has to take everything in. The nurses pass and pass. They are no trouble. They pass the way gulls pass inland in their white caps, doing things with their hands, one just the same as another, so it is impossible to tell how many there are. My body is a pebble to them. They tend it as water tends to the pebbles it must run over, smoothing them gently. They bring me numbness in their bright needles. They bring me sleep. Now I have lost myself. I am sick of baggage. My patent leather overnight case like a black pillbox. My husband and child smiling out of the family photo. Their smiles catch on to my skin, little smiling hooks. I have let things slip. A 30-year-old cargo boat, stubbornly hanging on to my name and address. They have swabbed me clear of my loving associations. Scared and bare on the green plastic-pillowed trolley, I watched my tea set, my bureaus of linen, my books sink out of sight, and the water went over my head. I am a nun now. I have never been so pure. I didn't want any flowers. I only wanted to lie with my hands turned up and be utterly empty. How free it is! You have no idea how free. The peacefulness is so big it dazes you, and it asks nothing, a name tag, a few trinkets. It is what the dead close on finally. I imagine them shutting their mouths on it, like a communion tablet. The tulips are too red in the first place. They hurt me. Even through the gift paper, I could hear them breathe, lightly through their white swaddlings, like an awful baby. Their redness talks to my wound. It corresponds. They are subtle. They seem to float, though they weigh me down, upsetting me with their sudden tongues and their color, a dozen red lead sinkers round my neck. Nobody watched me before. Now I am watched. The tulips turn to me, and the window behind me, where once a day the light slowly widens and slowly thins, and I see myself, flat, ridiculous, a cut paper shadow, between the eye of the sun and the eyes of the tulips. And I have no face. I have wanted to efface myself. The vivid tulips eat my oxygen. Before they came, the air was calm enough, coming and going, breath by breath, without any fuss. Then the tulips filled it up like a loud noise. Now the air snags and eddies round them, the way a river snags and eddies round a sunken rust-red engine. They concentrate my attention, that was happy, playing and resting without committing itself. The walls also seem to be warming themselves. The tulips should be behind bars like dangerous animals. They are opening like the mouth of some great African cat. And I am aware of my heart. It opens and closes its bowl of red blooms out of sheer love of me. The water I taste is warm and salt, like the sea, and comes from a country far away as health. Insomniac. The night sky is only a sort of carbon paper, blue-black, with the much-poked periods of stars, letting in the light, peephole after peephole. A bone-white light, like death, behind all things. Under the eyes of the stars and the moon's rictus, he suffers his desert pillow, sleeplessness, stretching its fine, irritating sand in all directions. Over and over the old granular movie exposes embarrassments, the mizzling days of childhood and adolescence, sticky with dreams, parental faces on tall stalks, alternately stern and tearful, a garden of buggy roses that made him cry. His forehead is bumpy as a sack of rocks. Memories jostle each other for face room like obsolete film stars. He is immune to pills, red, purple, blue, how they lit the tedium of the protracted evening. Those sugary planets whose influence won for him a life baptized in no life for a while. And the sweet, drugged waking of a forgetful baby. Now the pills are worn out and silly, like classical gods. Their poppy sleepy colors do him no good. His head is a little interior of gray mirrors. Each gesture flees immediately down an alley of diminishing perspectives, and its significance drains like water out the hole at the far end. He lives without privacy in a lidless room, the bald slots of his eyes stiffened wide open on the incessant heat-lightning flicker of situations. Night-long in the granite yard, invisible cats have been howling like women or damaged instruments. Already he can feel daylight, his white disease, creeping up with her hatful of trivial repetitions. The city is a map of cheerful twitters now, and everywhere people, eyes mica silver and blank, are riding to work in rows as if recently brainwashed. Wuthering Heights. The horizons ring me like faggots, tilted and disparate, and always unstable. Touched by a match, they might warm me, and their fine lines singe the air to orange before the distances they pin evaporate. But they only dissolve and dissolve, like a series of promises, as I step forward. There is no life higher than the grass tops or the hearts of sheep, and the wind pours by like destiny, bending everything in one direction. I can feel it trying to funnel my heat away. If I pay the roots of the heather too close attention, they will invite me to whiten my bones among them. The sheep know where they are, browsing in their dirty wool clouds, gray as the weather. The black slots of their pupils take me in. It is like being mailed into space, a thin, silly message. They stand about in grandmotherly disguise, all wig curls and yellow teeth and hard, marbly bas. I come to wheel ruts and water, limpid as the solitudes that flee through my fingers. Hollow doorsteps go from grass to grass. Lintel and sill have unhinged themselves. Of people, the air only remembers a few odd syllables. It rehearses them moaningly. black stone, black stone. The sky leans on me, the one upright among all horizons. The grass is beating its head distractedly. It is too delicate for a life in such company. Darkness terrifies it. Now in valleys narrow and black as purses, the house lights gleam like small change. Finisterre. This was the Land's End, the last fingers, knuckled and rheumatic, cramped on nothing. Black admonitory cliffs, and the sea exploding, with no bottom or anything on the other side of it, whitened by the faces of the drowned. Now it is only gloomy, a dump of rocks, leftover soldiers from old messy wars. The sea cannons into their ear, but they don't budge. Other rocks hide their grudges under the water. The cliffs are edged with trefoils, stars, and bells, such as fingers might embroider, close to death, almost too small for the mist to bother with. The mists are part of the ancient paraphernalia, souls rolled in the doom noise of the sea. They bruise the rocks out of existence, then resurrect them. They go up without hope, like sighs. I walk among them, and they stuff my mouth with cotton. When they free me, I am beaded with tears. Our Lady of the Shipwrecked is striding toward the horizon, her marble skirts blown back in two pink wings. A marble sailor kneels at her foot distractedly, and at his foot a peasant woman in black is praying to the monument of the sailor praying. Our Lady of the Shipwrecked is 3 times life-size, her lips sweet with divinity. She does not hear what the sailor or the peasant is saying. She is in love with the beautiful formlessness of the sea. Gull-colored laces flap in the sea drafts, beside the postcard stalls. The peasants anchor them with conchas. One is told, "These are the pretty trinkets the sea hides, little shells made up into necklaces and toy ladies. They do not come from the Bay of the Dead down there, but from another place, tropical and blue, we have never been to. These are our crepes. Eat them before they blow cold." The moon and the yew tree. The moon and the yew tree. This is the light of the mind, cold and planetary. The trees of the mind are black, the light is blue. The grasses unload their griefs on my feet as if I were God, prickling my ankles and murmuring of their humility. Fumy, spirituous mists inhabit this place, separated from my house by a row of headstones. I simply cannot see where there is to get to. The moon is no door. It is a face in its own right, white as a knuckle and terribly upset. It drags the sea after it like a dark crime. It is quiet, with the o-gape of complete despair. I live here. Twice on Sunday the bells startle the sky, 8 great tongues affirming the resurrection. At the end, they soberly bong out their names. The yew tree points up. It has a Gothic shape. The eyes lift after it and find the moon. The moon is my mother. She is not sweet like Mary. Her blue garments unloose small bats and owls. How I would like to believe in tenderness. The face of the effigy, gentled by candles, bending on me in particular, its mild eyes. I have fallen a long way. Clouds are flowering, blue and mystical, over the face of the stars. Inside the church, the saints will be all blue, floating on their delicate feet over the cold pews, their hands and faces stiff with holiness. The moon sees nothing of this. She is bald and wild. And the message of the yew tree is blackness. Blackness and silence. Mirror. I am silver and exact. I have no preconceptions. Whatever I see, I swallow immediately, just as it is, unmisted by love or dislike. I am not cruel, only truthful. The eye of a little God, 4-cornered. Most of the time, I meditate on the opposite wall. It is pink with speckles. I have looked at it so long, I think it is a part of my heart. But it flickers. Faces and darkness separate us over and over. Now I am a lake. A woman bends over me, searching my reaches for what she really is. Then she turns to those liars, the candles or the moon. I see her back and reflect it faithfully. She rewards me with tears and an agitation of hands. I am important to her. She comes and goes. Each morning it is her face that replaces the darkness. In me she has drowned a young girl, and in me an old woman rises toward her day after day, like a terrible fish. The babysitters. It is 10 years now since we rode to Children's Island. The sun flamed straight down that noon on the water off Marblehead. That summer we wore black glasses to hide our eyes. We were always crying, in our spare rooms, little put-upon sisters, in the 2 huge, white, handsome houses in Swampscott. When the sweetheart from England appeared, with her cream skin and Yardley cosmetics, I had to sleep in the same room with the baby on a too-short cot, and the 7-year-old wouldn't go out unless his jersey stripes matched the stripes of his socks. Oh, it was richness. 11 rooms and a yacht, with a polished mahogany stair to let into the water, and a cabin boy who could decorate cakes in 6-colored frosting. But I didn't know how to cook, and babies depressed me. Nights I wrote in my diary spitefully, my fingers red with triangular scorch marks from ironing tiny ruchings and puffed sleeves. When the sporty wife and her doctor husband went on one of their cruises, they left me a borrowed maid, named Ellen, for protection, and a small Dalmatian. In your house, the main house, you were better off. You had a rose garden and a guest cottage and a model apothecary shop, and a cook and a maid, and knew about the key to the bourbon. I remember you playing ja-da in a pink piqué dress on the game room piano when the big people were out, and the maid smoked and shot pool under a green-shaded lamp. The cook had one eye and couldn't sleep. She was so nervous. On trial from Ireland, she burned batch after batch of cookies till she was fired. Oh, what has come over us, my sister? On that day off, the 2 of us cried so hard to get. We lifted a sugared ham and a pineapple from the grown-up's icebox and rented an old green boat. I rowed. You read, aloud, cross-legged on the stern seat, from the Generation of Vipers. So we bobbed out to the island. It was deserted. A gallery of creaking porches and still interiors. Stopped and awful as a photograph of somebody laughing, but 10 years dead. The bold gulls dove as if they owned it all. We picked up sticks of driftwood and beat them off, then stepped down the steep beach shelf and into the water. We kicked and talked. The thick salt kept us up. I see us floating there yet, inseparable, 2 cork dolls. What keyhole have we slipped through? What door has shut? The shadows of the grasses inched round like hands of a clock, and from our opposite continents we wave and call. Everything has happened. Little fugue. The ew's black fingers wag. Cold clouds go over. So the deaf and dumb signal the blind, and are ignored. I like black statements. The featurelessness of that cloud now, white as an eye all over. The eye of the blind pianist at my table on the ship. He felt for his food. His fingers had the noses of weasels. I couldn't stop looking. He could hear Beethoven. Black yew, white cloud. The horrific complications. Finger traps, a tumult of keys. Empty and silly as plates. So the blind smile. I envy the big noises. The yew hedge of the gross fugue. Deafness is something else. Such a dark funnel, my father. I see your voice, black and leafy, as in my childhood. A yew hedge of orders, Gothic and barbarous, pure German. Dead men cry from it. I am guilty of nothing. The you, my Christ then, is it not as tortured? And you, during the Great War, in the California delicatessen, lopping the sausages. They color my sleep, red, mottled, like cut necks. There was a silence, great silence of another order. I was 7. I knew nothing. The world occurred. You had one leg, and a Prussian mind. Now similar clouds are spreading their vacuous sheets. Do you say nothing? I am lame in the memory. I remember a blue eye, a briefcase of tangerines. This was a man then. Death opened like a black tree, blackly. I survive the while, arranging my mourning. These are my fingers, this my baby. The clouds are a marriage dress of that pallor. An appearance. The smile of ice boxes annihilate me. Such blue currents in the veins of my loved one. I hear her great heart purr. From her lips, ampersands and percent signs exit like kisses. It is Monday in her mind. Morals launder and present themselves. What am I to make of these contradictions? I wear white cuffs. I bow. Is this love, then, this red material issuing from the steel needle that flies so blindingly? It will make little dresses and coats. It will cover a dynasty. How her body opens and shuts. A Swiss watch, jeweled in the hinges. Oh, heart, such disorganization. The stars are flashing like terrible numerals. ABC, her eyelids say. Crossing the water. Black lake, black boat, 2 black cut paper people. Where do the black trees go that drink here? Their shadows must cover Canada. A little light is filtering from the water flowers. Their leaves do not wish us to hurry. They are round and flat and full of dark advice. Cold worlds shake from the ore. The spirit of blackness is in us. It is in the fishes. A snag is lifting a valedictory pale hand. Stars open among the lilies. Are you not blinded by such expressionless sirens? This is the silence of astounded souls. Among the narcissi, spry, wry, and gray as these march sticks, Percy bows in his blue pea-jacket among the narcissi. He is recovering from something on the lung. The narcissi, too, are bowing to some big thing. It rattles their stars on the green hill where Percy nurses the hardship of his stitches, and walks and walks. There is a dignity to this. There is a formality. The flowers vivid as bandages, and the men mending. They bow and stand. They suffer such attacks. And the octogenarian loves the little flocks. He is quite blue. The terrible wind tries his breathing. The narcissus. Technical excellence. Elm for Ruth Fainlight. I know the bottom, she says. I know it with my great taproot. It is what you fear. I do not fear it. I have been there. Is it the sea you hear in me, its dissatisfactions? Or the voice of nothing, that was your madness? Love is a shadow. How you lie and cry after it. Listen, these are its hooves. It has gone off like a horse. All night I shall gallop thus, impetuously, till your head is a stone, your pillow a little turf, echoing, echoing. Or shall I bring you the sound of poisons? This is rain now, this big hush. And this is the fruit of it, tin white, like arsenic. I have suffered the atrocity of sunsets. Scorched to the root, my red filaments burn and stand, a hand of wires. Now I break up in pieces that fly about like clubs. A wind of such violence will tolerate no bystanding. I must shriek. The moon also is merciless. She would drag me cruelly, being barren. Her radiance scathes me. Or perhaps I have caught her. I let her go. I let her go diminished and flat, as after radical surgery. How your bad dreams possess and endow me. I am inhabited by a cry. Nightly it flaps out, looking with its hooks for something to love. I am terrified by this dark thing that sleeps in me. All day I feel its soft, feathery turnings, its malignity. Clouds pass and disperse. Are those the faces of love, those pale irretrievables? Is it for such I agitate my heart? I am incapable of more knowledge. What is this face, so murderous in its strangle of branches? Its snaky acid's kiss. It petrifies the will. These are the isolate, slow faults that kill, that kill, that kill. Poppies in July. Little poppies, little hell flames. Do you do no harm? You flicker. I cannot touch you. I put my hands among the flames. Nothing burns. And it exhausts me to watch you flickering like that, wrinkly and clear red, like the skin of a mouth just bloodied. Little bloody skirts. There are fumes that I cannot touch. Where are your opiates, your nauseous capsules? If I could bleed or sleep, if my mouth could marry a hurt like that, or your liquors seep to me in this glass capsule, dulling and stilling, but colorless, colorless. A birthday present. What is this behind this veil? Is it ugly? Is it beautiful? It is shimmering. Has it breasts? Has it edges? I am sure it is unique. I am sure it is just what I want. When I am quiet at my cooking, I feel it looking. I feel it thinking. Is this the one I am to appear for? Is this the elect one? The one with black eye pits and a scar? Measuring the flour, cutting off the surplus, adhering to rules, to rules, to rules. Is this the one for the Annunciation? My God, what a laugh! But it shimmers, it does not stop, and I think it wants me. I would not mind if it was bones, or a pearl button. I do not want much of a present anyway, this year. After all, I am alive only by accident. I would have killed myself gladly that time, any possible way. Now there are these veils, shimmering like curtains, the diaphanous satins of a January window, white as baby's bedding and glittering with dead breath. Oh, ivory! It must be a tusk there, a ghost column. Can you not see I do not mind what it is? Can you not give it to me? Do not be ashamed. I do not mind if it is small. Do not be mean. I am ready for enormity. Let us sit down to it, one on either side, admiring the gleam, the glaze, the mirrory variety of it. Let us eat our last super at it, like a hospital plate. I know why you will not give it to me. You are terrified. The world will go up in a shriek, and your head with it. Bossed, brazen, an antique shield, a marvel to your great-grandchildren. Do not be afraid. It is not so. I will only take it and go aside quietly. You will not even hear me opening it. No paper crackle, no falling ribbons, no scream at the end. I do not think you credit me with this discretion. If you only knew how the veils were killing my days. To you, they are only transparencies, clear air. But my God, the clouds are like cotton, armies of them. They are carbon monoxide. Sweetly, sweetly I breathe in, filling my veins with invisibles, with the million probable motes that tick the years off my life. You are silver-suited for the occasion. Oh, adding machine! Is it impossible for you to let something go and have it go whole? Must you stamp each piece in purple? Must you kill what you can? There is this one thing I want today, and only you can give it to me. It stands at my window, big as the sky. It breathes from my sheets, the cold dead center where spilt lives congeal and stiffen to history. Let it not come by the mail, finger by finger. Let it not come by word of mouth. I should be 60 by the time the whole of it was delivered, and too numb to use it. Only let down the veil, the veil, the veil. If it were death, I would admire the deep gravity of it, its timeless eyes. I would know you were serious. There would be a nobility then. There would be a birthday. And the knife not carve, but enter, pure and clean as the cry of a baby, and the universe slide from my side. The bee meeting. Who are these people at the bridge to meet me? They are the villagers, the rector, the midwife, the sexton, the agent for bees. In my sleeveless summery dress I have no protection, and they are all gloved and covered. Why did nobody tell me? They are smiling and taking out veils tacked to ancient hats. I am nude as a chicken neck. Does nobody love me? Yes, here is the secretary of bees with her white shop smock, buttoning the cuffs at my wrists and the slit from my neck to my knees. Now I am milkweed silk. The bees will not notice my fear, my fear, my fear. Which is the rector now? Is it that man in black? Which is the midwife? Is that her blue coat? Everybody is nodding a square black head. They are knights in visors. Breastplates of cheesecloth knotted under the armpits. Their smiles and their voices are changing. I am led through a bean field. Strips of tin foil winking like people. Feather dusters fanning their hands in a sea of bean flowers. Creamy bean flowers with black eyes and leaves like bored hearts. Is it blood clots the tendrils are dragging up that string? No, no, it is scarlet flowers that will one day be edible. Now they are giving me a fashionable white straw Italian hat, and a black veil that molds to my face. They are making me one of them. They are leading me to the shorn grove, the circle of hives. Is it the hawthorn that smells so sick? The barren body of hawthorn, etherizing its children. Is it some operation that is taking place? It is the surgeon my neighbors are waiting for. This operation in a green helmet, shining gloves and white suit. Is it the butcher, the grocer, the postman, someone I know? I cannot run. I am rooted, and the gorse hurts me, with its yellow purses, its spiky armory. I could not run without having to run forever. The white hive is snug as a virgin, sealing off her brood cells, her honey, and quietly humming. Smoke rolls in scarves in the grove. The mind of the hive thinks this is the end of everything. Here they come, the outriders, on their hysterical elastics. If I stand very still, they will think I am cow parsley, a gullible head untouched by their animosity, not even nodding, a personage in a hedgerow. The villagers open the chambers. They are hunting the queen. Is she hiding? Is she eating honey? She is very clever. She is old, old. She must live another year, and she knows it. While in their finger-joint cells, the new virgins dream of a duel they will win inevitably. A curtain of wax dividing them from the bride flight, the upflight of the murderess into a heaven that loves her. The villagers are moving the virgins. There will be no killing. The old queen does not show her technical excellence. Whose is that long white box in the grove? What have they accomplished? Why am I cold? Daddy, you do not do any more black shoe, in which I have lived like a foot for 30 years, poor and white, barely daring to breathe or chew. Daddy, I have had to kill you. You died before I had time. Marble heavy, a bag full of God, ghastly statue with one gray toe, big as a Frisco seal, and a head in the freakish Atlantic, where it pours bean green over blue, in the waters off beautiful Nauset. I used to pray to recover you. Ach du! In the German tongue, in the Polish town, scraped flat by the roller of wars, wars, wars. But the name of the town is common. My Polack friend says there are a dozen or two. So I never could tell where you put your foot, your root. I never could talk to you. The tongue stuck in my jaw. It stuck in a barbed wire snare. Ich, 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 I could hardly speak. I thought every German was you, and the language obscene, an engine, chuffing me off like a Jew to Dachau, Auschwitz, Belsen. I began to talk like a Jew. I think I may well be a Jew. The snows of the Tyrol, the clear beer of Vienna, are not very pure or true. With my gypsy ancestress and my weird luck, and my Tarok pack, I may be a bit of a Jew. I have always been scared of you, with your Luftwaffe, your gobbledygoo, and your neat mustache, and your Aryan eye, bright blue. Panzerman, Panzerman, oh, you, not God, but a swastika, so black no sky could squeak through. Every woman adores a fascist, the boot in the face, the brute, brute heart of a brute like you. You stand at the blackboard, Daddy, in the picture I have of you, a cleft in your chin instead of your foot, but no less a devil for that. No, not any less the black man who bit my pretty red heart in two. I was 10 when they buried you. At 20, I tried to die and get back to you. I thought even the bones would do. But they pulled me out of the sack, and they stuck me together with glue, and then I knew what to do. I made a model of you, a man in black with a Mein Kampf look, and a love of the rack and the screw, and I said, I do. So, Daddy, I'm finally through. The black telephone's off at the root, the voices just can't worm through. If I've killed one man, I've killed two. The vampire who said he was you, and drank my blood for a year, 7 years if you want to know. Daddy, you can lie back now. There's a stake in your fat black heart, and the villagers never liked you. They are dancing and stamping on you. They always knew it was you. Daddy, Daddy, you bastard, I'm through. Lesbos, viciousness in the kitchen, the potatoes hiss. It is all Hollywood, windowless, the fluorescent light wincing on and off like a terrible migraine. Coy paper strips for doors, stage curtains, a widow's frizz. And I, love, am a pathological liar. And my child, look at her, face down on the floor, little unstrung puppet, kicking to disappear. Why, she is schizophrenic, her face red and white, a panic. You have stuck her kittens outside your window in a sort of cement well, where they crap and puke and cry, and she can't hear. You say you can't stand her. The bastard's a girl. You who have blown your tubes like a bad radio, clear of voices and history, the staticky noise of the new. You say I should drown the kittens, their smell. You say I should drown my girl. She'll cut her throat at 10 if she's mad at 2. The baby smiles, fat snail, from the polished lozenges of orange linoleum. You could eat him. He's a boy. You say your husband is just no good to you. His Jew mama guards his sweet sex like a pearl. You have one baby, I have two. I should sit on a rock off Cornwall and comb my hair. I should wear tiger pants. I should have an affair. We should meet in another life. We should meet in air, me and you. Meanwhile, there's a stink of fat and baby crap. I'm doped and thick from my last sleeping pill. The smog of cooking, the smog of hell, floats our heads, two venomous opposites, our bones, our hair. I call you orphan, orphan. You are ill. The sun gives you ulcers, the wind gives you TB. Once you were beautiful. In New York, in Hollywood, the men said, "Through? Gee, baby, you are rare." You acted for the thrill. The impotent husband slumps out for a coffee. I try to keep him in. An old pole for the lightning. The acid baths, the sky falls off of you. He lumps it down the plastic cobbled hill. Flogged trolley. The sparks are blue. The blue sparks spill, splitting like quartz, into a million bits. Oh, jewel, oh, valuable. That night, the moon dragged its blood bag, sick animal, up over the harbor lights, and then grew normal, hard and apart and white. The scale sheen on the sand scared me to death. We kept picking up handfuls, loving it, working it like dough, a mulatto body, the silk grits. A dog picked up your doggy husband. He went on. Now I am silent, hate up to my neck, thick, thick. I do not speak. I am packing the hard potatoes like good clothes. I am packing the babies. I am packing the sick cats. Oh, vase of acid, it is love you are full of. You know who you hate. He is hugging his ball and chain down by the gate that opens to the sea, where it drives in, white and black, then spews it back. Every day you fill him with soul stuff like a pitcher. You are so exhausted. Your voice my earring, flapping and sucking, blood-loving bat. That is that. That is that. Your peer from the door, sad hag. Every woman's a whore. I can't communicate. I see your cute decor close on you like the fist of a baby, or an anemone, that sea sweetheart, that kleptomaniac. I am still raw. I say I may be back. You know what lies are for. Even in your Zen heaven we shan't meet. Cut for Susan. O'Neill Row. What a thrill! My thumb instead of an onion. The top quite gone, except for a sort of a hinge of skin. A flap like a hat, dead white. Then that red plush. Little pilgrim, the Indians axed your scalp. Your turkey waddle carpet rolls straight from the heart. I step on it, clutching my bottle of pink fizz. A celebration this is. Out of a gap, a million soldiers run, redcoats, every one. Whose side are they on? Oh, my homunculus, I am ill. I have taken a pill to kill the thin, papery feeling. Saboteur, kamikaze man. The stain on your gauze Ku Klux Klan babushka darkens and tarnishes, and when the bald pulp of your heart confronts its small mill of silence, how you jump! Trepanned veteran, dirty girl, thumb stump, by candlelight. This is winter, this is night, small love. A sort of black horsehair, a rough, dumb country stuff, steeled with the sheen of what green stars can make it to our gate. I hold you on my arm. It is very late. The dull bells tongue the hour. The mirror floats us at one candle power. This is the fluid in which we meet each other, this halo-y radiance that seems to breathe and lets our shadows wither, only to blow them huge again, violent giants on the wall. One match scratch makes you reel. At first the candle will not bloom at all. It snuffs its bud to almost nothing, to a dull blue dud. I hold my breath until you creak to life, bald hedgehog, small and cross. The yellow knife grows tall. You clutch your bars. My singing makes you roar. I rock you like a boat across the Indian carpet, the cold floor, while the brass man kneels back bent. Technical excellence. Something else hauls me through air, thighs, hair. Flakes from my heels, white Godiva, I unpeel. Dead hands, dead stringencies. And now I foam to wheat, a glitter of seas. The child's cry melts in the wall, and I am the arrow, the dew that flies, suicidal, at one with the drive, into the red eye, the cauldron of morning. Poppies in October. Even the sun clouds this morning cannot manage such skirts, nor the woman in the ambulance whose red heart blooms through her coat so astoundingly. A gift, a love gift, utterly unasked for, by a sky, palely and flamingly, igniting its carbon monoxides, by eyes dulled to a halt under bowlers. Oh my God, what am I, that these late mouths should cry open, in a forest of frost, in a dawn of cornflowers? Nick and the candlestick. I am a miner. The light burns blue. Waxy stalactites drip and thicken. Tears. The earthen womb exudes from its dead boredom. Black bat airs wrap me, raggy shawls, cold homicides. They weld to me like plums. Old cave of calcium. Icicles, old echoer. Even the newts are white, those holy joes. And the fish, Christ, they are panes of ice, a vice of knives. A piranha religion, drinking its first communion out of my live toes. The candle gulps and recovers its small altitude. Its yellows hearten. Oh, love, how did you get here? Oh, embryo, remembering, even in sleep, your crossed position. The blood blooms clean in you, ruby. The pain you wake to is not yours. Love, love, I have hung our cave with roses, with soft rugs, the last of Victoriana. Let the stars plummet to their dark address. Let the mercuric atoms that cripple drip into the terrible well. You are the one solid the spaces lean on, envious. You are the baby in the barn. Letter in November. Love, the world suddenly turns color. The streetlight splits through the rat's tail pods of the laburnum at 9 in the morning. It is the Arctic. This little black circle, with its tawn silk grasses, baby's hair. There is a green in the air, soft, delectable. It cushions me lovingly. I am flushed and warm. I think I may be enormous. I am so stupidly happy. My Wellingtons squelching and squelching through the beautiful red. This is my property. 2 times a day I pace it, sniffing the barbarous holly with its viridian scallops, pure iron, and the wall of old corpses. I love them. I love them like history. The apples are golden. Imagine it. My 70 trees holding their gold ruddy balls in a thick gray death soup. Their million gold leaves metal and breathless. Oh love, oh celibate. Nobody but me walks the waist-high wet. The irreplaceable golds bleed and deepen the mouths of Thermopylae. Death. 2. Of course, there are 2. It seems perfectly natural now. The one who never looks up, whose eyes are lidded and bald, like Blake's, who exhibits the birthmarks that are his trademark, the scald scar of water, the nude viridegris of the condor. I am red meat. His beak claps sideways. I am not his yet. He tells me how badly I photograph. He tells me how sweet the babies look in their hospital icebox. A simple frill at the neck. Then the flutings of their Ionian death gowns. Then 2 little feet. He does not smile or smoke. The other does that. His hair long and plausive. Bastard, masturbating a glitter. He wants to be loved. I do not stir. The frost makes a flower. The dew makes a star. The dead bell. The dead bell. Somebody's done for. Mary's song. The Sunday lamb cracks in its fat. The fat sacrifices its opacity. A window, holy gold. The fire makes it precious. The same fire melting the tallow heretics, ousting the Jews. Their thick palls float over the cicatrix of Poland, burnt out Germany. They do not die. Gray birds obsess my heart. Mouth ash, ash of eye. They settle on the high precipice that emptied one man into space. The ovens glowed like heavens, incandescent. It is a heart, this holocaust I walk in. O golden child, the world will kill and eat. Winter trees. The wet dawn inks are doing their blue dissolve. On their blotter of fog, the trees seem a botanical drawing. Memories growing, ring on ring, a series of weddings. Knowing neither abortions nor bitchery, truer than women, they seed so effortlessly. Tasting the winds that are footless, waist deep in history, full of wings, otherworldliness. In this they are Ledas. O mother of leaves and sweetness, who are these Pietas? The shadows of ringdoves chanting, but easing nothing. Sheep in fog. The hills step off into whiteness. People or stars regard me sadly. I disappoint them. The train leaves a line of breath. O slow horse, the color of rust. Hooves, dolorous bells. All morning the morning has been blackening. A flower left out. My bones hold a stillness. The far fields melt my heart. They threaten to let me through to a heaven, starless and fatherless, a dark water. The Munich mannequins. Perfection is terrible. It cannot have children. Cold as snow breath, it tamps the womb, where the yew trees blow like hydras, the tree of life and the tree of life, unloosing their moons month after month to no purpose. The blood flood is the flood of love, the absolute sacrifice. It means no more idols but me, me and you. So, in their sulfur loveliness, in their smiles, these mannequins lean tonight in Munich, morgue between Paris and Rome, naked and bald in their furs, orange lollies on silver sticks, intolerable, without mind. The snow drops its pieces of darkness. Nobody's about. In the hotels, hands will be opening doors and setting down shoes for a polish of carbon, into which broad toes will go tomorrow. Oh, the domesticity of these windows! The baby lace, the green-leaved confectionery, the thick Germans slumbering in their bottomless stolts, and the black phones on hooks, glittering, glittering, and digesting voicelessness. The snow has no voice. Words, axes after whose stroke the wood rings, and the echoes, echoes traveling off from the center like horses. The sap wells like tears, like the water striving to re-establish its mirror, over the rock that drops and turns, a white skull, eaten by weedy greens. Years later, I encounter them on the road, words dry and riderless, the indefatigable hoof-taps, while, from the bottom of the pool, fixed stars govern a life. Edge. The woman is perfected. Her dead body wears the smile of accomplishment. The illusion of a Greek necessity flows in the scrolls of her toga. Her bare feet seem to be saying, "We have come so far." Each dead child coiled, a white serpent, one at each little pitcher of milk, now empty. She has folded them back into her body as petals of a rose close, when the garden stiffens and odors bleed from the sweet deep throats of the night flower. The moon has nothing to be sad about, staring from her hood of bone. She is used to this sort of thing. Her blacks crackle and drag. About the author, Sylvia Plath, 1932 to 1963, was born in Boston, Massachusetts, and studied at Smith College. In 1955, she went to Cambridge University on a Fulbright scholarship, where she met and later married Ted Hughes. She published one collection of poems in her lifetime, The Colossus, 1960, and a novel, The Bell Jar, 1963. Her collected poems, which contains her poetry written from 1956 until her death, was published in 1981 and was awarded the Pulitzer Prize for Poetry. About the editor. Ted Hughes, 1930 to 1998, was born in Yorkshire. His first book, The Hawk in the Rain, Technical Excellence, by the same author, Poetry, Ariel, The Colossus, Crossing the Water, Winter Trees, Collected Poems, edited by Ted Hughes. Fiction, The Bell Jar, Johnny Panic, and The Bible of Dreams. For children, The Bed Book, illustrated by Quentin Blake. The It Doesn't Matter suit, illustrated by Rotrout Suzanne Berner. Collected Children's Stories. Biography, Letters Home, Correspondence 1950-1963, edited by Aurelia Schober Plath. The Journals of Sylvia Plath, edited by Karen V. Kukel. Copyright. First published in 1985 by Faber and Faber Limited. Bloomsbury House, 7477 Great Russell Street, London, WC1B 3D. This ebook edition first published in 2011. All rights reserved. The Estate of Sylvia Plath, 1960, 1965, 1971, 1981, 1985. The right of Sylvia Plath to be identified as author of this work has been asserted in accordance with Section 77 of the Copyright, Designs and Patents Act, 1988. This ebook is copyright material and must not be copied, reproduced, transferred, distributed, leased, licensed, or publicly performed or used in any way except as specifically permitted in writing by the publishers, as allowed under the terms and conditions under which it was purchased, or as strictly permitted by applicable copyright law. Any unauthorized distribution or use of this text may be a direct infringement of the author's and publisher's rights, and those responsible may be liable in law accordingly. ISBN 978-0571-26224.